Hey everyone, I've purposely been staying out of the UEFA Conference League debacle because for me, I think this is a bit of a nonsense really, in the fact that we shouldn't be in the position we're in. Okay, we should have already won our group and progressed into the next round without this becoming an issue for us and us being in this situation. So for me, it's a bit of a farce, and for us to go out because we broke the rules, because we couldn't fulfil the game and all that, kind of seemed like a sensible thing, kind of made sense, because we haven't performed in it, we haven't lit it up, we haven't done what we're supposed to have done. So it kind of makes sense, right, that why do we deserve an opportunity to progress in something, and so on. So when they were talking about just making a decision based on a disciplinary panel or whatever, I thought to myself, seems fair enough, and the likely outcome is a 3-0 defeat, takes us out and all the rest of it, and that's the end of it, and you can't really argue it because that's the rules, and it's been decided by a panel. So for me, it kind of made sense, and I was all right with it. I wasn't really too bothered. I thought, it is what it is. But as I've said many times, I'm an advocate of winning every competition you're in, and I wanted us to be really going for it from the beginning, because whether we like it or not, it's a competition that you have the opportunity to win. It comes with a trophy, a proper trophy, not a Audi Cup trophy, which is what's been quoted to me as being like it, which it isn't, not at all. So for me, I was kind of like, well, we should be going and winning it and that. So it kind of begs a question now, with this situation as it stands, as to what's the right thing, what is the right thing to do in this situation. And whilst I understand that if it goes to a panel, this is what the panel could do and all the rest of it, I personally think it would be a mistake for them to award us a win, because I don't think we deserve a win because of what we've done previously. So as I said, happy to go out on that scenario. However, if there is an opportunity for the game to be played at an alternative date, then for me that's obviously the best scenario. And I don't accept that the 31st of December should be the absolute deadline, because what you've got to remember is these rules and laws and all the rest of it for football have all been created for a time before COVID, before something that has literally changed the world, life in general, how people behave, how they're perceived, what they can do, what they can't do, their freedoms and so on. And so to just kind of go, oh well, the 31st of December was the date, end of, that's it, you've got to stick by it. That's in an old world, right? That's not in a new world, not in the world that we currently exist in. Now, if the next round was going to be played early January, I'd go, 31st of December makes sense, but we're not. We're talking about February, right? We're talking about mid-February for the next round to take place. So why does it need to wait to be done so early anyway? What's the big deal about it? It makes absolutely no sense why it should be called out so early. So that gives us the opportunity to actually play the game, which is the right thing to do. It's not right to just give it to the other team and expect us to just accept it, and it's not right to award the game to us because we don't deserve it. So the only way to do it would be to play the game at an alternative date, and you can't tell me there is not a date available between now and the 17th February. There must be some opportunity in there, even if that meant we had to play 2 games in a week. So for me, I think it's obvious that should be the option. Play the game at a date that is suitably convenient. I don't think being awarded the game is right. I think the game should be played. If it can't be played and there can't be an option to do it, then basically award us in line with your plans, and if we lose, we go out, and I'll accept it. But at the same time, personally, I believe that there is a better way, and you have to take into account the circumstances of the situation. We're talking about a COVID situation. We're not talking about, calling off the game because you've got X amount of players that are not available. Because the other thing to think about with that is, this isn't just about not having the players available. This is about, infection. This is about a pandemic that is affecting people and essentially killing people. So why would you take the risk at playing it at a place where there are lots and lots of cases of it, cases that can spring up day after day and so on? You've got to be a little bit more sensible than that. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the money, or it shouldn't be. So, for me, I think it's an absolute nonsense that we're still talking about this far on from the situation. We need to think a little bit more logically and so on. So, as I say, I've tried to really keep out of it, because the reality is it doesn't matter either way. If we're out of it, we're out of it. If we've still got an opportunity to be in it, then we should be given that opportunity to play the game and extend the date, extend the deadline, because, as I say, this is all related pre-COVID, something that's really literally changed everything for everybody, right? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the panel comes up with. If they do award us the game, then that's an absolute farce. You can't, in all honesty, put your hand on your heart and go, that's the right decision. That will be a decision based on, I don't know, money, finances, who's going to attract the most fans, whatever that might look like, But for me, there's only 2 options. Disciplinary panel, call the game off, can't replay the game, award the game, 3-0 loss, we're out, fine. Accept it, move on. No other conditions, no fines, no being kicked out of competitions further on and all the rest of it. This is circumstances that cannot be avoided in a situation where people cannot. It's not like you can choose to not get COVID or whatever, or let's play the game. Let's extend the deadline, give us the opportunity, and see what happens. Quite frankly, we could probably play that game and lose to them, and that'll be it. We'll be out anyway. But at least we'd have gone out on the right terms of playing a game and losing fair and square. But yeah, so it is what it is. But where would we be without this sort of controversy? We've now got 2 games in hand. Potentially Leicester might not go ahead, although there is rumblings that we're back in the training facilities and so on. So with a bit of luck, maybe it will go ahead. And I just hope that Tottenham can make use of those 2 games in hand and actually do something worthwhile and get us back up into a good position, ready for the January transfer window. But only time's going to tell. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Up the Spurs.